Hey guys, Telegram Sam here. If you don't already know, I have an Instagram. It's Telegram _Sam _vinyl. So if you're on Instagram, check me out on there. Um, Sorry, you'll hear my fan. I don't even want to hear about how you can hear my fan in the comments. I'm filming this Saturday afternoon, and it's currently 102 degrees out, so that fan is the only thing that's keeping me melting right now. So I'm sorry, I know, very unprofessional. Deal with it. I have to deal with it. So, anyways, today's video is a recent vinyl pickups where I show you guys the records I picked up these last 2 weeks. No 7 inches this go around. I went shopping at Everyday Music at Burnside, and their singles collection isn't the greatest. I didn't really find anything there that really piqued my interest. So no 7 inches, but I found some really cool LPs. First off is Here Come the Warm Jets by Mr. Brian Eno. This originally came out in 1973, and this is a 2018 US press. I would describe this as rock, art, rock, glam music. This was his debut solo album after he left Roxy Music. And you have former members of Roxy Music playing on here, as well as from Hawkwind, Pink Fairies, and even King Crimson. This is such a cool record. I've been meaning to get this one for forever, and this was in their used recent arrivals bin, and I just had to pick it up. I'd love to find an OG copy, but this 2018 US press sounds fantastic. Definitely essential if you're a sort of glam rock / early art rock fan. Love this album. And this one just came on a custom label. Next up, a one I've been really dying to get. This is the Black Album by The Damned. This originally came out in 1980, and this is a 1982 US press. I would describe this as rock, new wave punk. This was kind of like when they really started kind of dipping their toe into the whole goth music thing. They didn't go quite as full in as they would go in some of their later albums, but you can definitely hear the early beginnings of it on here. This was their 4th album, and they co-produced this with Hans Zimmer, who also played synthesizer. My speech impediment does not like that word. On a song on here, and yeah, I love to have an original copy, because original copies have both the album, the Black Album, and a live album, and plus the cover's a lot cooler. It kind of looks like a gravestone. It has like these flowers on it. This one's kind of lame, but this was super cheap. I think it was only like $8, so I had to pick it up. And the only other Damned record I have is a live album from them, so I was really excited to get one of their actual studio albums. And this one just came on IRS label. Can't really go wrong with anything on the IRS label. Next up, a really awesome reissue that just recently came out. This is a Fashion Nugget by Cake. This originally came out in 1996, and like I said, I think it came out earlier this month. This was their 2nd studio album. If you're not familiar with Cake, they're kind of like a weird fusion of everything. They're like alternative rock, but they have some jazz elements, some Latin, some just funk, soul. They do a cover of Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive on here, but this is the album that has probably their most well-known song, The Distance. Man, that song rips. I love that song. That's definitely the song that got me into Cake when I first heard it. Yeah, and it's a totally different experience when you get to listen to it on vinyl. When I posted this on my Instagram, a lot of people were asking me the sound quality on here. I've never heard an original pressing of this, so I don't know what that is compared to this. I wouldn't say it's like audiophile quality, but it's a good sounding reissue. You can still find these for like $20-25, so they're not too expensive. And I think it's worth it just to have it on vinyl. I think this is the first time it's officially been reissued since the original came out. So it's just a cool thing to have. I think they're actually planning on doing reissues of all of Cake's albums soon, so exciting first release. And this one just came on, sort of swirly, custom label, I think. Not sure. I think it's a custom label. Next up, a recent release in the world of hip hop and rap. This is Call Me If You Get Lost, the newest album by Tyler, the Creator. This digitally came out in 2021, but because of all of the snafus and delays at Vinyl Plants, it just came out earlier this year. I think last month or earlier this month it officially came out. And this is his sixth studio album, and I would describe this as like trap, hip hop, a little bit of R&B, neo soul thing going on. So digitally, when it first came out, I was super excited because I thought the cover was going to be this awesome sort of fake ID of Tyler, kind of like ODB's back there. I wonder if Tyler took that cover and that's why he did it like this. I don't know. Tyler, reach out to me, talk to me, let me know. But yeah, Tyler produced this album himself. Wow, I cannot speak. Maybe it's the heat getting to me. Yeah, he produced this himself. Not my favorite Tyler release, to be totally honest. There was like half of the stuff on here that I really, really loved, and half of it I was like, meh. There's like a 10-minute song that's like the last song on the record that's just all about like how rich and famous he is, and all the lines he does, fashion lines he does, and just all this cool stuff he does, which is awesome. I'm so glad an artist like him is successful. You know, he's been really kind of fighting to be in the mainstream for a really long time. I think after Flower Boy, he really sort of deserved that. But I don't know, it's just, I was like, really, dude? It just kind of felt like a really long ad at the end of the album. But there are some heroes on here, especially the more sort of soul R&B albums. I did like some of the rap songs and some of the features he had on here, like Lil Wayne and Demo Genesis, who was in Odd Future with him. And then some of the other rappers I really wasn't that familiar with, but I did like them. But yeah, I mean, if you were to listen to the last 3 albums he's done, I would say go with Igor. I think that's definitely a lot better album than this one, personally. I'm sorry, Tyler. I still like this album. I think if you love rap and hip-hop, you'll like this. But I love Tyler, the Creator. I've been listening to him since Goblin. I still think that's his all-time greatest album, his magnum opus, where he kind of changed the game. When it came to rap and hip-hop, like Childish Gambino, Tyler, the Creator was a early hip-hop influence and got me into hip-hop, so I really have loved everything he's done so far. And yeah, I was kind of slightly a little disappointed by this album, but still a great trap, hip-hop, soul, R&B album if you're into those genres. And then these all came on a custom label. Another thing that really grinded my gears with this release is that nowhere on the cover or even the album labels are the song titles. So if you want to look up like, oh, what song am I listening to, you have to like go online and like look it up, which is kind of a bummer, but I didn't make it. So next up we have this is Ann Peebles by Ann Peebles. This originally came out in 1969, and this is a 2022 press. Great soul, funk, R&B. This was her debut album. And Ann Peebles, I mean, it's up there. It's one of my all-time favorite female soul singers, and just soul singers in general. I mean, Aretha Franklin will kind of always be the reigning queen, but there's something that Ann Peebles has. It's like she just has a little bit more grit to her voice. It's not all about trying to sing the top note or the best notes. It's about singing what fits the rhythm and the feel of the song, which sometimes Aretha Franklin would kind of just ignore and just be like, here's how amazing of a singer I am. But Ann Peebles just knows when to rein it in. And yeah, she's just awesome. She famously did the original version of I Can't Stand the Rain, which is an amazing song. I love that song. But yeah, such a killer debut album from one of the greatest soul singers ever. And she really took the Memphis sound on this. And the Memphis horns backing on here is just great. So that's it for the stuff I bought myself. These next 3 albums I got from a viewer of mine named Mikey. He was really nice to send me some duplicates of some killer reggae albums he had. I unfortunately don't have that many reggae albums. I think I would only consider the few Pierre Tosh albums I have to be the only reggae in my collection. It's a genre I tend to like dip my toes in, and then we'll get kind of bored with it, and then until I get re-inspired again, we'll listen to. But the first couple records he sent me was from Gregory Isaacs, and this first one is Mr. Isaacs. This originally came out in 1977, and this is a 2019 U.S. press. I would describe this as roots reggae, lovers reggae. This was Mr. Isaacs' 4th album, and it was originally released as The Greatest on the Earthquake label in Jamaica, and then later issued as Mr. Isaacs after that. But yeah, this is a killer a reggae album. You can definitely hear the early beginnings of sort of dub on here. I think my problem with reggae, and this could be totally my Western sort of just shittiness and just, you know, I don't have the best ear for reggae, but to me reggae, like a lot of the songs, like once you hear them, they kind of all sound the same to me. That could totally be my Western ignorance on my part. And maybe I just need to hear more reggae, maybe because I'm not that well versed. That's why they all kind of sound the same to me. So a lot of these songs, after I listened to them, kind of got lost in the mix. But I just need to give this a few more listens, and maybe I'll kind of jive with it a little bit more. This next one, which I think Mikey said was like his all-time favorite album ever, is his album Night Nurse. This originally came out in 1982, and this is a 2008 Jamaican press. This was his 13th studio album, and his most well-known album because of the song Night Nurse, which I've definitely heard before, and compared to the last album, I really like this one a lot more. This one definitely has more of a dub thing, but still has that roots reggae, lovers rock thing. There's a lot of cool like electronic moments on here that you could definitely hear, like early beginnings of electronic sort of techno dance music. It was really cool to listen to. But yeah, I definitely prefer this one more, and I know a lot of people that are a little bit more well doved in and more knowledgeable in reggae think this is one of the greatest like dub reggae albums ever, so I would agree with them, but this is the only one I really listened to, so don't really have a lot of, you know, listening experience to really speak on it, but I liked it. And this came on the Green and White Earthquake label. And then last but not least, we have John Holt doing Police in Helicopter. This came out in 1983, and this is a 2001 UK press. This was his 34th studio album. The thing about all these reggae artists that I found out is that they released a crap ton of albums, and this was his 34th album. I think I already said that. Oh my god, this heat is just really melting my brain. Sorry if this isn't the best video. But yeah, again, kind of like the first Gregory Isaacs album I showed, it kind of just like, after I listened to it, I was like, oh, it's kind of just like all the other reggae songs and albums I know. But I did like this one. There are a few songs I do remember, like Private Doctor is a good one. The Police and Helicopter song is awesome. Beach Party is a fun one. Yeah, I think I just need to get more into reggae. Maybe I can really fully appreciate it more. Oh, sorry, this was the last So I must have shown the Earthquake album for Night Nurse, but this is actually the Night Nurse disc, and the Earthquake one was for the first Gregory Isaacs album I showed, and then this is for the John Holt album on the Rain Sleeves label. But yeah, that was it for all I got these last 2 weeks. I didn't really get much. I've been trying to slow down on buying since I'm going to Seattle next month to see the B-52s with my mom, and I plan on going to a few record stores while I'm there, so I'm trying to save up money for that. So yeah, I'm gonna go melt on my couch now. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.